This conference will now be recorded.
Sorry, can I
Okay,
ask a quick
so
question? One quick question. My wife is trying from work to get on. It says for security reasons, she's not allowed on. Should we just, should I tell her she doesn't need to come on, or is there a way to let her on?
okay, is she? Yeah, Andrew, do you want to let whoever's waiting in the waiting room in?
The meeting is unlocked, so anyone attempting to join can still hop on. It sounds like there may be some firewall barrier that's happening there.
Okay, so Michael, you heard that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so just before we start, I just want to state once again that this meeting is being recorded and will be posted to the town's website. It is not being live streamed. Okay. And the first order of business will be the election of an acting chair for the committee. Okay. Would anyone like to nominate someone as an acting chair?
I'll move the Bob McCray.
Okay, does
the
staff
acting
have a
chair.
recommendation? Sorry, Jerry?
I'll move that Bob McCray.
I'll second that, Jerry.
Okay, so it's been
I'll
moved and
second that,
seconded that
Jerry.
Bob McCray fill the position of acting chair for the Committee of Adjustment. Okay, all those opposed? I see and hear none. Those in favor? Okay, sorry, I was frozen there shortly. Can I just say once again, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. Mr. McCray, the meeting is yours.
Thank you. Call the meeting to order. I'm chuckling here. I'm seeing emergency exits, which is part of our normal meeting procedure. You know where you are, and you know how to get out of where you're at in case you've got an emergency. So we'll deal with it that way. To the committee members, if you have any conflicts of pecuniary interest, please declare them now or at any point during the meeting. Next thing is approval of the agenda. Dave did send out an amended agenda. I think, Dave, the only thing that changed there was the election of the acting chair, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. So can I have one of the committee members to move that we approve the agenda for this meeting, please?
I'll move.
Green and seconded.
I'll move
I'll
it.
second it.
Go.
Okay. Jerry, thank you. All in favor? And that carries. Next bit of business before we get into our applications. For the committee members, we need approval of minutes for our meeting, which was Committee of Adjustment 05-2019. Committee members, you've got Aman sent those to us. That was December 3rd of 2019, the last time that we met. Committee members, any questions, comments, changes to those December 3rd, 2019 minutes? And if none, can I have someone move that we approve these, please? Corinne moved, seconded.
I'll second it.
Jerry, thank you. And all in favor, please? And I think that carries. So that for our guests here, that concludes the housekeeping minutes. With that, we're going to move on to our first application, which is the application for minor variance A01 slash 20. Now, the owner, Keith Danby. Applicant is Witzel Dice Engineering, Inc. The location here is part of east half of Lot 1, Concession 2, EHS, which is 8 French Drive. And the purpose, I'll just read this for the record. Purpose is minor variance of section 15, 4, B is in Bob, I is in Igloo, 2, and 15-4, B is in Bob, I is in Igloo, 4, of our zoning bylaw 78-1 to reduce the required interior yard setback of 7.63 meters or 25.03 feet, reducing that to 3.34 meters or 10.96 feet, and to reduce the required rear yard setback of 7.63 meters or 25.03 feet, reducing that to 4.75 meters or 15.58 feet on the northeast corner of the proposed addition to the existing building. And this is to permit the construction of a proposed addition to the existing commercial building with an area of 937 square meters or 10,085.80 square feet. The zoning on this property is special light industrial, ML zone. Official plan designation is Greenbelt Hamlet. And we've got all of our enclosures here to the committee members. Dave, there's Dave. I'm not used to this so much. You moved from one side of my computer screen to the other, Dave. Dave, you've done a great job with your plan. I'm not sure you need to go through all of those details. Can you give us anything that you think is pertinent to this? I'm assuming committee members got our packages. Amon sent them out, and I'm sure we've all looked through them. So, Dave, I'll let you. Anything additional that you want to add to what you've done in your planning report, please?
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Bob. I don't know that I need to add too much. This is for some relief of the side and rear yard standards for a building in addition to an existing industrial building that's already there. I mean, the applicant has gone as far as to get letters from the abutting owners, none of whom had a problem with it. The letters are attached in the package. But even that aside, from a planning merit perspective, I don't see any adverse impact here at all. Even with the reduced side and rear yards, there's still enough room for safety, maintenance, and emergency requirements to get around the perimeter if need be. It's not going to impact their service septic system. They got full water, for example. I mean, the only thing I've done in my report actually as a recommendation is, as you noted, they're asking for 3.34 meters on the side yard. And I've suggested in my recommendation to round that down to 3.30. So it actually gives them a little bit more wiggle room if they need it by 0.04 meters. It's up to committee to choose to do that. It doesn't matter really, I don't think one way or another. The 4.75 is rounded down to 4.75, so that's a standard measurement. My recommendation is to be approved. Unless Miss Katie Fitzpatrick, Katie, wishes to speak to her client's application, I really have no more to say.
Okay, Dave, thank you. So that was my next question. It's somebody from the applicant here wanting to add anything additional to the package that we've already got, please. Please introduce yourself and.
Yeah, hello, my name is Brad Gibson. I work with Katie Fitzpatrick that put that application in. I believe Keith, the owner, is also, it says that he's online, so I assume he's listening.
I am.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, for the most part, yeah, David kind of hit the nail on the head. There's not much more to say. So an existing industrial building, manufacturing building, Right now, out of space, he's bursting at the seams. He needs more space. Just looking to utilize the rest of the lot and try to make the space inside as functional as possible. To do that, we are going over the setback lines, both on the side yard and the rear yard, for a small portion. I guess the length of the building on the interior side yard, and just a smaller portion along the rear yard. David had made a comment about rounding down to 3.3. That would be, we're actually, the measurement that we have there is just, it's 3.370. So the 3.3 would actually is the number that it should be, and that makes more sense on our end. Yeah, from a building standpoint, it's pretty straightforward. I have worked on several of the neighboring properties. The same thing on all of the properties. I think we came to this committee for more or less the same thing, and they all were accepted. So we're just hoping to have the same here.
Okay, very, very good, Brad. Thank you. Committee members, now this is the time when if you've got any questions. To simplify this, I'm just going to go through in alphabetical order for the committee members and ask if you have any questions for Brad or Keith. So, Corinne, we'll start with you if you have any questions or comments. I
Sure.
can't. Are you
Yeah, I just have
muted?
one question, and I just wanted to no. Can you hear me now, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The only question I had was if the business practices are going to stay the same with the new space allocation, or are you looking at any different types of allocations and or business practice changes in that space?
Yeah, so I'll let Keith answer to that.
Yeah. Hi. No, we're going to continue to do exactly the same process that we're currently doing. We're actually occupying 3 different buildings right now throughout Mono. I've got multiple places that we're leasing industrial space to accommodate our rapid recent growth. So we're going to consolidate everything in house, but we're going to stay in pet treat manufacturing and packaging, and that's our forte, and that's what we're staying in.
Yeah, fantastic, and congratulations on your growth.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Corinne, that's it then? Okay, thank you. Jerry, next, please. Questions, comments?
No, the only comment I think I have is that David has already answered. I was concerned about emergency access around the building, et cetera. So that sounds like it's, and we have dealt with that with other applications. So I think David has that well in hand.
Okay, that's it, Jerry?
I think so, yes.
Very good, thank you. Sorry if I keep asking this, but I just want to make sure we've got everything covered. Brenda, your turn, please.
No questions. I support this application.
Very
I could
good.
move that it be approved.
Okay, well, I got one more, we got one more process, and then I'll get your motion to approve it. Myself also, I don't have any other questions. I live very close to this over in the Island Lake subdivision. I drove past the other day and was happy to see that all of the neighbors have no objections to it. So I have no objections either and support it. The last official thing we have to do before we move Brenda's motion is there anybody else online from the public who wants to speak to this application? And 3, 2, 1, seeing none. So Brenda, I'll let you move your motion now, please.
Sorry. I move that it be approved.
Okay, moved by Brenda.
Including
I'll
conditions.
second.
Seconded by Corinne. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Seconded by Corinne. So I'm just going to do a roll call here for voting to make sure that we've got this right. Corinne, you've seconded it, so I'm assuming that you're voting yes. Jerry?
Approved, yes.
Brenda, of course, yes. And myself, yes. So that passes unanimously. So that is our first one.
Thank you very much,
Just
guys.
as a follow up on that, Claire McRae, I mean, I have the hard copy decision that can be signed later. I guess we can get that out to you and do it virtually or by mail, whatever. And the only follow up, of course, that Mr. Danny knows and Witzel Dice knows is that with the approval of the minor variance, there is an appeal period. So, I mean, we should see or hear nothing on that. No one here has spoken against it today, but there is still that 20-day appeal period. Once that's come and gone, then we'll probably have to do a minor amendment to your existing site plan, which is really not that difficult. From that point, then it would go on to building permit review. That's all I have more to say.
I guess one thing I could have said was, Keith, good luck. Somebody else said this. Good luck with your expansion there. It's nice to see industries in Mono growing and expanding. So good luck with everything.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it. Okay.
Yep, no problem. You enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye. We can leave the meeting now for those who want those. Thanks.
Okay, are we good, Dave? Can I move on?
Yes, for sure.
Very good. Okay, our second application here for minor variance. This is A02/20. Applicants Michael Silvestre. If I've mispronounced that, I apologize. And Natalie Virag. So subject property is east half of lot 31, concession 5 EHS. This is 875644, fifth line. The purpose of the variance is to seek relief from section 5-1C as in cat to allow a proposed accessory building to be erected and used before a permitted residential building has been erected. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just reading. I think that's it. Dave, you again, thank you. You have given us a good detailed planning report that all of the committee members have and have read. But is there anything additional that you want to add or comment about this application, please?
Thank you, Chair Bob. So not too much. There's a section in the zoning bylaw that says primary structures are to precede accessory buildings and structures. And the reason for that is on a cumulative basis, we don't want to see rural lots that have only accessory buildings on them, that we want to see what is a complete array of structures that would normally be in a rural residential use. And that starts usually with a house. But the applicant has been very amenable and cooperative here. And we have a letter here saying that he's committed to that. It's just the logistics he needs are to get the accessory building up first, get the hydro in, and I don't see a fundamental problem with that. But it does set a precedent. That's why it's in a minor variance application. So that's why it's before you. I have the letter. It's dated October the 9th. The letter declares that they will agree the town withhold their deposit on minor variance, $2,500, until they get an occupancy permit for the house. Their expectation is a couple of years out, give or take, so I think that's reasonable. I think the $2,500 is reasonable. Committee can make it more or less if they wanted, I suppose, but it is a deposit as it is stands, and we have it, so that's why we've used that amount. Other than that, the only other things I've said in my recommendation are that I'm giving the applicant two choices here, really, which are, we want to make sure that the rural character cumulatively is protected. And while I recognize accessory buildings much of the time are not as aesthetic as primary buildings are, if there is an opportunity, particularly on the facade side or the roadside, to embellish it a bit more, that would be appreciated. Or if it can be demonstrated at the time of build that it is fully screened, that would also maybe suffice. I have been to the site. There is a fair bit of foliage there. I suspect from where it's going to be located, it's probably not going to be really well seen at all from the roadway. I'd be mindful of the property across the street as well. So that's what I put in my recommendation. Those would be, I guess, special conditions in any decision committee makes, other than the standard ones, which apply to all, which of course property tax have to be paid up to date and things like that. That's all I have to say at this point.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Dave. Michael, and is that you, Natalie? There. You have, how are you, dear? Michael, you have anything else to add to what Dave has said, or the package that you've given us, please?
Just to speak to what David was saying about the building not being able to be seen from the road, it won't be seen at all because it's a managed forest property, which is a secondary reason that we want this building there. We currently live an hour away, and we're going there as much as possible. And once the house is built, obviously we'll be moving there full time. But when we go there to manage the forest, it's going to make our lives a lot easier to have tools and some machines there to thin out this overplanted forest from 30 years ago. Where the building's going to be from the road directly in front, you won't be able to see it at all. And coming south on 5th Line, if you squinted your eyes, you might slightly be able to see it through the trees, but I even doubt you'd be able to see it. So it's a full forest. The whole property is a forest with an open area towards the back.
Okay, and Michael, that's everything?
I think so. Yeah.
Could I just add one more thing, Chair McCray?
Yes, Dave.
Committee may choose to add as a condition an upset size. The applicant has said that this accessory building will be a maximum of 3,000 square feet. You might add a bit of wiggle room there if need be, but that might be considered as a condition if needed. That's committee's choice.
To put a limit of 3,000 square feet, you mean?
Sure.
Okay.
As long as the applicant's satisfied that's enough, which I think he is, then
okay,
that's a figure I'm proposing.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Dave. So I'm going to change the order here. Jerry, we'll start with you for comments, questions, please.
No, I don't have any problem with it. I think it's, I think the official plan is correct. We don't want to have just a bunch of buildings on lots and one thing another. So I think that's well looked after. So no, I don't have any problems with it.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Jerry. Brenda, next, please.
No, I don't have any problem. I just feel sorry for you guys. That's a lot of work ahead of you. All of those trees.
We're looking forward to it.
I bet you are.
Wonderful. Okay, Brenda, that's it, dear?
That's it.
Thank you. Corinne, please.
I have no questions, no comments.
Okay, very good. And I don't either, but just Dave's suggestion that we put in the 3,000 square foot limit, and that, Michael, do you have a problem with that if we put that in as a condition of the approval of this?
Not at all. Would that mean in the future, if we wanted to make the building bigger, like in 10 years after the house is up or whatnot, is that still a possibility? Or
Dave, help us, please.
I mean, it would have to maybe go through another minor variance, but that's probably more acceptable. I mean, these things happen where people need additional space down the road, so it can be considered at a future time.
Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, though. Once the house is on there, then the standard maximum accessory building rules apply, correct?
They would, and we're in the midst of changing those, as you may know. So
Yes.
as long as they're still under those new limits, then they would just go for building and municipal approval, municipal zoning compliance. But if
Yeah.
we're going to be more than that, they need another variance. That's true.
Okay, yeah, got you. So my only comment here is, and Michael, if you don't have a problem with that, given that there's been a little bit of history of mega sized accessory buildings in the town in recent memory, that just for the sake of giving everybody some peace of mind, if you don't mind that we put that limit in, if that is the wish of the committee, then I think that's a good idea. Committee, any comments about putting in Dave's suggestion for the limit of 3,000 square feet? Jerry?
I agree with that.
Or Brenda?
I agree.
Sorry. Jerry? Sorry.
50 by 60 is a good sized building, so as long as we can work with it and they can work with it, we're good.
Okay. Very good, and I'm happy with that too. So with that, then committee, can I ask someone to make a? Oh, sorry. I have to ask if there is anybody in the gallery who wants to speak to this. It's a formality, but we have to ask that. So seeing none. Then can I ask the committee for someone to make a motion on this application, please?
Let me just add one thing to that, Bob, before you do, if I may, and that is that the applicants did put the signboard on the property. The property I had most interest in that might have responded, but obviously has no concern, is the property opposite, 875647. So yeah, we can be assured that that closest resident hasn't expressed any interest in this application. Sorry for the interruption.
Hey, no, not a problem. Thank you. Jerry, I saw your thing light up. Were you going to make that motion?
I will make that motion, Bob, that it's approved.
Very good. Thank you. And a seconder, please.
I will. Brenda.
Brenda? Sorry,
Yeah.
she beat you to it, Corinne. And all in favor, I'm going to do a roll call here again. Corinne, yes. Jerry? You
Yes.
moved it, yes. Brenda?
Yes.
Yes, and I move yes as well. So that passes unanimously. Michael, so good luck with that. You look young enough to take on that whole woodlot. So
thank you very much.
thank you. Good luck with everything. Dave,
Good luck.
you know the Dave will be in touch, all the standard things and the like. And Dave, you're going to take care of that addition of the maximum of 3,000 square feet then.
Will do.
So we're clear. We're done with this one.
We're done.
Yep.
You two good, fine people can leave the meeting if you so choose.
Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Have fun.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Okay. And last but not least, Jane and Ian, thanks for your patience here. So our last application for minor variance, A03/20, owner Ian. Am I pronouncing your name correct, Ian?
Yes.
Thank you. Richmond and Mary Jane Richmond. Applicant Ian W. Richmond and Mary Jane Richmond. This is location, part of west half of lot 19, concession 2, WHS, which is 594527 Blind Line. Purpose, minor variance of section 20-2 E as in eat, II, igloo, igloo, of zoning bylaw 78-1. This is to reduce the required interior yard setback provision of 9.15 meters, which is 30.02 feet, reducing it to 1.77 meters, or 5.81 feet, to permit the legalization of the existing sunroom addition and the existing deck, which were built without municipal approval and OBC permit. Zoning here is rural, official plan, prime agricultural, environmental protection 1, environmental protection 2. With that, Dave, again, let me get my package. Dave, you have given us a very thorough and complete planning report on this and with your recommendation. But is there anything else that you comments or things that you want to talk to this application, please?
It's in my report. I mean, this deck and sunroom lie opposite open farmland, so it's not an urban or suburban situation. But that aside, I've come to the conclusion it probably is not going to be an impact. The bigger wrinkle is the fact that it was built without either code or zoning compliance approval in the first place, and I think I do state that in there, but it's mindful to remember to get those things, because without a permit, it's never a problem until it becomes a problem. So in this case, it has not been, I don't think. But even so, Dufferin Building will need to issue a permit. We'll need a letter probably from a professional engineer stating that it has integrity and is safe. And on that basis, they could issue a permit post-construction. And those are the two conditions that I put in my report. The other one being that they get the conditional permit from NVCA because it isn't a regulated area. So those in hand would be the conditions of this minor variance request.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Dave. Jane, Ian, anything else to add to what Dave has said there, or to all the material that we have on this?
The permit is underway. Dufferin has all the required paperwork. We should be hearing back from them within about 3 more days. They said they were going to submit it, I think, to you. We've had an engineer look at it. We've got a report that actually, from my understanding of the report, it said that it would meet today's standard. And so I think that's in place, and we're waiting to hear from Dufferin about the permit.
Okay.
If I may just respond to that, if that's all right, Chair Craig.
Yes, of course, Dave. Yeah.
Yes. So I did speak with Greg McNaughton, the chief building official, and he was anticipating an application for building code review to be submitted. So Aman, I don't know if you can confirm that because you're on City View a bit more than me, if you're able at this point. But the application, though, the review will still require that letter from your engineer. So if that's
they do have it.
Okay, that's good. That's what they're really going to rely on, Dufferin County Building. So if it's been submitted as part of the package, then that's good. My understanding is it would be tested under the 88 code, the 1988 code. And I stood corrected on that because I thought it would need to meet current code requirements, but according to Greg, it would meet the 88 code of the day. And I'm sure it's well built, but it needs to be legalized that way for them to issue a permit.
Okay, very good. All right, committee members. Brenda, we'll start with you this time, please.
It's like that old adage, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, I have no comments or anything with this. I can support this application.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Brenda. Corinne?
I have no issues with this application.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know if everybody else is seeing it, but your voice is behind on the screen. You know what I mean? So anyhow, thank you. Jerry, questions, comments?
It's my special talent, Bob.
Ah, well, I'm sure one of many. Sorry, Jerry, questions, comments, please? Jerry?
I certainly don't have any hang up with backing the application, but I do have some concerns with it. I would certainly back the application as it is, but my concern is that if we're truly on official plans protecting agriculture, if someone goes in right beside that with a building that close to a prime agriculture facility,
Jerry, sorry, you're breaking up.
There of any
Jerry, sorry, you're breaking up.
I think we've lost him, Andrew, have we not? Oh, there he is. He's back.
Okay.
Jerry, are you still with us? Somebody who's smarter about this than, oh, there. Jerry?
Yeah, are you there now, Bob?
Yeah. Or not. Well,
Yeah,
we try to get
we're here
Jerry
again
back.
now.
Oh, thank
Maybe
you.
go close to your window, Jerry. You might just get better connection that way. I don't know.
Do we have Jerry? I'm not even sure we got Dave anymore.
I'm here, Bob. I turned off my video just to see if I could help Jerry with the broadband wiggle room.
Okay, thank you. Well, if you want to try to get Jerry back, I think the most important thing that I heard there was that he would support the application, and then his concern about prime agricultural. But I'm not seeing that we got Jerry back yet.
Yeah, the gist I got from his comment was that we just need to be careful when these things come up where they're abutting or in proximity to prime ag lands. I mean, I think I've stated in my report. Was he there? Maybe you can speak further.
I'm not seeing a green microphone here. Well, let me carry on then and see if we can get Jerry back. Jerry?
Andrew, are you able to help him maybe?
Well, while we try to sort Jerry out, let me make my comments. I have no problem with approving this. Goodness knows, in all the years that I've been on Committee of Adjustment and Planning Committee, we have had much bigger applications for approvals after the fact than this. So I have no problem with it, and I will be supporting it. I know, Jerry's comments, typically Jerry being a farmer, longtime farmer in Mono, and that his concern is always about prime agricultural, and I appreciate that. But Dave, I don't see that we're getting Jerry back here anytime soon.
No, not unless Andrew can help him out.
Well, we still have three of us here, so we still have a quorum. Let me go through the obligation that we ask if there's anybody else online who wants to speak to this application. And with that, I see none.
And to add to that, Bob, I had no comments or input from the budding landowner farmer, by the way.
Okay, thank you, Dave. That's good. I don't want to drag this on longer than necessary. We did hear Jerry say that he supported it. We do have 3 members here, so we still have a quorum. So, and I'm not versed at the how you run these virtual meetings, but we may not get Jerry back. So Dave, is it appropriate? Can I suggest that we ask somebody to move a motion and the 3 of us that are still here vote on it?
Yeah, you got a quorum, so we could. Unless we get Jerry on, but we'll see what happens there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to carry on with it then. Brenda, Corinne, somebody want to move that we approve this? Corinne,
I will.
you're nodding.
It's
Brenda,
Brenda,
you
and I
second
will, as long as the conditions are met.
Okay, yep, understood, and I agree. Moved by Corinne, seconded by Brenda. All in favor? Corinne's nodding. Thank you, Brenda.
Agreed.
And I agree too. So,
Are you there now, Bob? Are you
sorry,
there now, Bob?
Jerry?
Jerry,
Are you there now?
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead. I agree with yes.
I'm sorry. I wish I could understand any of that. Jerry, you're really breaking up.
I vote with the committee.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Sorry, while we were trying to get you back there, Corinne moved it, Brenda seconded it, the 3 of us did, and now you have 2, so that makes it unanimous. Are you okay with that, Jerry?
I am.
Thank you. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to move it along with. Are you doing this out of your house on the 4th? Don't know. I'm sitting here. Sorry, I'm here in the Island Lake subdivision, and I got Rogers fiber optic running down the road. So I'm going to brag about the fact that like I get 200 megabytes per second download and 16 to 20 uploads. So I got pretty secure stuff here. Corinne, I don't know about you, but or Brenda, but at any rate, I'm rambling. That motion passed. Yes, Jane.
I'm wondering if we will have something in writing about the requirements.
Dave, we need you, please.
Referring to, yes.
Yeah, I will craft each of the 3 decisions, including this one, and this one will have the 2 conditions which are attached to my report, which is they're citing back my report, the conditional permit from Nottawasaga Valley Conservation Authority, NVCA, and a letter from a professional engineer on your behalf who attests to the integrity, safety, and compliance under code of both structures.
Okay. I think we did send a check to NVCA through you. We did.
I will check this. We forwarded on, and I think we did. As far as I know, we did. I will confirm that for you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so Jane, Ian, Dave will take care of contact with you or Aman for all the details in that. You are smart to get this taken care of legally. Someday you may want to sell your property, and if that is not black and white, then you could have a problem. So you're smart to do this. So you have it approved by the committee. So and Dave will be in touch, right, Dave?
Correct.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, committee. That's that. I think that went relatively well for our first effort with this. On our agenda, we're at other business. So any questions, comments?
I believe
Committee
Jane
member?
and Ian are trying to leave the meeting. I don't know.
Ah.
They can, if you hear me, you can leave the meeting now, Jane and Ian. They're almost there. The mics, there they go. Okay,
There we go.
that
Okay.
brings us to the business. Are you still with us, Jerry? Don't know if he's still with us, Bob. Oh, maybe.
I'm here, but I'm here and I can hear you, but I'm not sure you're hearing me.
Well, we
We
did
can
that
now.
time.
It's been in and out, and Bob's been singing the praises of high-speed internet in Brookfield.
Yeah, I don't think you've got.
Actually, it's gone pretty good. Like Corinne, you haven't shut down at all, and Brenda, I know your video's up. I heard you all the way through, so you must have a hill in front of you, Jerry. That's got to be what it is. It's got to be one of those beautiful Mono hills in front of you. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I don't think that on the fourth line of Mono they've got Rogers the
I'm
fiber.
a mile off
Corinne,
the.
what do you got?
Maybe what we
I'm
need
on
to
the
do.
fourth.
I'm thinking,
I'm on the
Bob,
fourth. I have Bell.
We have fiber optic to highway
Oh, you've
tonight.
got Bell. I'm wondering if maybe Jerry needs to put in his Christmas list. Maybe, you know, maybe he needs a slightly fancier gizmo.
Yeah. Well, Jerry's at the south end of the fourth, Korean. You're more at the north end of the fourth, aren't you?
F Bob.
Yeah, I'm on the hill. Yeah,
Ah, there you go.
I'm way up the hill.
Okay. Well, committee members, any other business, any other comments, questions?
Are there
Corinne's-
many more applications coming in, David?
Good question, Brenda. We probably might get a few coming in. There's Aman, help me here. Are you there, Aman?
Yep, I'm here.
There's Aman. I know I've had interest of at least one consent application, rural area. What else have we received? I think there's 2 more consent applications. Do you recall?
Yeah. There was that one lawyer that called about the lease for more than 21 years.
Right. That's right. That's right.
The one that I recall. And then Kira, the one that she wanted to
Kira,
submit. I
that's
don't
right.
know if that's coming in. Yeah.
Right. So potentially a lot boundary, a lease for right-of-way I'm on, right? Now is it driveway access exceeding 21 years?
Yes.
Yeah. So in a lease where there's a lease of more than 21 years, it requires a consent. And then the third one could be a rural lot severance, 90-acre parcel that has 1 severance off it, looking for a second. Interesting aspect there is that although it's not in the Niagara Escarpment Plan, it's captured by their development control area. So they would need a clearance letter from NEC, but that has not come in yet. The only one, well, I don't know if any of them have come in yet, Aman. I don't think any of them come in at this point, but we're expecting them to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll target, let's see when they come in. I mean, right now that would be a December meeting, but I really generally try to stay away from the last 2 weeks of December just because.
Right. I agree.
So yeah, and if they're coming in sort of the end of the second weekish kind of thing, then we might need to just put them over to January.
Yeah.
But I suspect again though, we're probably going to be doing it in this format. As long as
That's why I wanted to know, because I need more facts.
Jerry finds something under the tree at Christmas time, maybe. Just pulling your leg, Jerry. Just pulling your leg.
Maybe I got into Bob's bottle. Maybe I got into Bob's bottle of scotch, eh?
Let me look.
Maybe Bob's got a spare room for you.
Still come in here, Jerry.
You could be, Bob's in his den. Maybe Bob could have you in his, probably got a wet bar in the basement that he could sit you up at with your iPad, Bob, Jerry.
Yeah.
And you'd have his Rogers Broadbent. I put Bob on the spot now.
Oh, why not? Hey, that's whatever we need to do. It's not a problem. Hopefully our friend John Riley recovers enough with his knee operation to chair the next meeting. But Dave, the only question I had was our meeting today on a Thursday at 2 p.m, both of those being outside of our normal 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night. And that, the next meeting could be any day, any time.
It could be. I'm just trying to be mindful of Aman's travel time, really. And I thought, well, given virtual or need to be virtual or ideally be virtual, that an afternoon meeting would suffice. What I'm looking at is these three are fairly straightforward. And I thought, well, we should be able to wrap them up in an hour, which we've done.
Yeah.
If there's something, obviously, if we were to get an application where we're getting a lot of area resident concern or inquiry, then probably we might have to think of an evening meeting, although again, probably virtually, because we'd be limited number of bodies we can have in the council chamber at one time. But again, I don't know, even for the ones coming forward, again, I suspect at this point they're going to be fairly straightforward.
Well, all we can do is wait until applications come in and deal with it when it comes in. And so I think this. I don't know if we've just lost Corinne. I was just. I'll send an email.
She's there.
Sorry.
She's there. She's just not on audio.
Oh, I don't even have her on a. I don't know enough about this.
Yep.
I got circles with.
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I don't have a circle with your initials in it. So, oh, maybe you didn't put your name in. I don't know how this works.
It's automatic.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, I compliment. I thank you, everybody. I think that this actually went very well. Dave, I hope you agree with this. You've had more of these. So I want to thank everybody for helping to make this a successful virtual Committee of Adjustment meeting. Our first one. We'll put this one in the in the record books or the history books and that. So with that, any other comments with that? Dave, we don't need a motion to adjourn, do we? Or can we?
We have in the past, I believe, given a motion to adjourn. It can't hurt. But listen, before we do that, I just want to also give thanks to Andrew for his technical support on this. He's been so helpful along the meetings virtually. And Aman, who did this is her first package she put together, Bob. So, so Aman, that's a pretty good job. We've got some good templates there now to work with going forward. And I know she was hustling to get this package together with all the information.
I already sent Aman an email thanking her for the yellow inserts in between the different applications because we haven't had that before. And when I get the packages, I'm putting things in myself. So I thought the package was spectacular. So Aman, thank you.
Thank you for your kind words.
Mine was blue, Bob.
Oh.
You didn't have enough.
Jerry, I can't see it. So I got yellow. Yellow, blue, whatever. As long as you got dividers of whatever color, I think it was really.
I'm on the combine.
I wondered.
I think it was too. I'm on the combine, so I.
Oh, Jerry. Okay. So do we? Before we lose anybody, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I will.
Brenda?
That's Brenda, yeah.
Thank you. A seconder? I'm putting Jerry in. Put Jerry down as the second.
I'll second it.
There we go. Thank you, Jerry. And all in favor? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
Okay. Thank you, committee. That went pretty good. worked out.
Yeah,